Hey guys, how's it going? This is Ray Gamer here, and this is going to be my guide on Mini Cactpot. I'm here at the Gold Saucer in Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. Um, Pretty straightforward. There's actually a pretty unique way that you can actually guarantee, just using some common sense and just kind of looking at the different lines, to guarantee you'll get a 1, 2, and 3, which in Mini Cactpot gives you a total of 6, which is the big 10,000 prize. So with this little guide, it'll guarantee that if the card that you get has a 10,000 point score, like if it actually has been generated and there is a 1, 2, 3 on one of the lines, you will always win that line and you'll always get 10,000. So in essence, you can win 30,000 a day using this. It's pretty straightforward. Just depends on how lucky you are and how the cards get generated. This isn't like pre-planned. Obviously, I can't change the RNG. I'm just going to buy tickets, and I'm going to show you live kind of how it works. And I'll put some annotations. I'm going to edit this video and add some things so you can kind of see exactly what I'm talking about a little bit more visually to make it easier to understand. And if you use this method, it'll work 100% of the time. So go ahead and buy a ticket here. And to start out, and this makes it really easy because I can add some annotations. So you see how they already have the kind of arrows here? This is perfect. If you want to write it down, you can write it down, get a pen and paper, whatever, but it makes it easy. So now this is super lucky that we have a 1 already revealed. Say this was anything, it doesn't matter. You're looking for a 1, 2, or 3 to be revealed first. So now that we know that this 1 is here, we play it a little differently. You have to use some common sense. The win could be on this row, or it could be on this row. And those are the only 2 rows that you can win on. So you have to pick on that row. I got lucky with this reveal. I'll show you on another card how to do it when you don't have a 1, 2, or 3 as the first reveal, where you're kind of looking to see which rows will work. When you have something different than a 1 or 2 or 3, you know that those are rows that won't work. So you pick something from a row that may work because you don't know what's in it yet. So we know that the only 2 rows that can win this are this or this. So we pick 1 in either row just to see what we get. And I have a 5, so now I know that this row down here at the bottom, you can see my cursor, that's no. So I can, in my mind, put an X here, and I know that this is X'd out, this is X'd out, this diagonal, and this line here, because the 1 has to match up. So this is going to be the line I pick regardless. It's not always going to be a 6, but if this card had a 6, that's where it would be, and that's the only place it could possibly be. Now, if I don't win, it doesn't matter, because for every time that I win a 10,000, it's just how lucky they generate your cards. It gives you enough points that you can play this game for a very long time, because it only costs you 600 MGP a day to buy your 3 tickets. If you do some math, 600, multiply that by 10, you get 6,000. Okay, 10 is more than 3 days worth in how much you're going to play. That's tons. You know, you have plenty of days of time, like plenty of tickets that you can completely whiff on without winning and still have enough to sustain if you hit just one jackpot. So we're going to go ahead and pick these 2, obviously, to see what we get. And there's no possible way on this card that you're going to get a 1, 2, 3. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to kind of look at our options. So this is another thing too. Once you kind of figure it out, if you know that you don't have the win, you don't have a 1, 2, 3, there's something that you can do which is really helpful. You know which ones are revealed. So we know the 1, 5, 7, and 3 are revealed. So we know that any of these 5 can't be those numbers. And I know what my middle row is, which is 11, which is a fairly good win, so I'll probably end up picking it because it's a safe bet. However, if I were to pick something different, like I know the 5 and the 1 is here, so that's 6. I know this can't be 5, 1, 7, or 3. So if it's a 2, okay, I could win 8, which is 720. If it's a 4, okay, I can win 10, which is 80, which is poor. If it's a 6, which still has not been revealed, I could win 12, which is 108, which is average. Okay. If it's an 8, I can win on 14, which is, again, very poor. And if it's a 9, which is the last number that's not there, it could be 15, which is average. So out of all of the potential winnings, the best one would be if this was a 2, I'd win 720. So that's not a very good row to pick because odds are against me. Now, any rows that you reveal where you have 2 open, you can kind of make that assessment. If you have more than 2 or 3 options that are better than average, then it's a safer bet to pick. Or sometimes you just get lucky and you reveal something that gives you a fairly decent win. Since this is over 200, I'm going to pick that row, win that real quick, and we're going to go to the next one, and I'll hopefully not have one of the original numbers in the 1, 2, 3 revealed for me. We'll see what happens. Alright, so here we go. This is perfect. So I have a 4. So now, these little circles, now if you can imagine on paper, if you can X out this circle, you're not going to choose that line because the 4 can't be in the 6. Same thing is true of this line. So we have 2 lines that are eliminated, essentially, okay? This line and this line. I want to pick a card now. I want to pick a circle that gives me information about the most possible lines. So what I mean by that is, let's say I pick this one. It's not going to help for information for this line because I know that's a lost cause. It's only going to give me information for this line and this line. So 2 lines that I can reveal. However, if I pick the one in the middle, which oftentimes isn't revealed, is usually where you want to go, it's going to give me information on this potential winner, this potential winner, this potential winner. So 3 lines instead of 2. And that's what you're looking for, at least 3 lines. So I'm going to pick the middle option, and I get a 2. So that's good. So now I have knowledge that this line cannot win. This line cannot win. The top line up here cannot win because the 2 is not placed in it. The line on the bottom here cannot win because the 2 is not placed in it. And the line on the right here cannot win. So if you can imagine little X's. X here, X here, X here, X here, X here. The only 3 remaining available potential wins are this point, and this point. I have to eliminate those 2. So I have to find one that crosses both of them, or multiples of them, if possible. So obvious picks are going to be in the corners here to try to get as much information as possible. I want to pick here first and see what I get. I get a 6, so I eliminated this one line. That means I have either diagonal. This is a little bit more tricky, so I have to pick on one of these diagonal points. So I'm going to pick this here to eliminate or qualify this one. Okay? And I get a 3, which means that this line is now eliminated. So that means this is the only potential line that can have the 6 combination, because that can be the 1. So I'm always going to pick this 100% of the time. If I pick anything else, I know it's not going to be the 6 because mathematically, the way the numbers are placed, it can't be possible. It's just not going to happen. So I'm going to pick this line right here, and was not the 6. So again, the 1 was in a different spot, but that's the only way that I'm going to win the 10 grand. If this card had 10 grand on it, I would have won it with that pick. And if you get a little lost, you're not sure, you can leave comments below, and I can explain a little bit more. I'm going to add annotations so you'll kind of see what I'm explaining, what I'm talking about. And like I said, it's okay if you lose. You're not always going to win, okay? So here we go. We have a 2 in the middle. So that's actually pretty good. We know it eliminates this line, this line, this line, and this line. It gives us these middle 2 lines or the diagonals. So I'm going to find something that's going to try to intersect as best as possible. I'm going to try to qualify as many lines as possible. I'm going to choose a point here, 9, so I know it's not this diagonal. I'm going to choose a point here, 7, so I know it's not this line or this diagonal. So it could either be this line or this line. The last one I pick will qualify or disqualify the line that I'm on, and so I know whether to pick that line or the remaining line. So I'll pick here. So that's a 6. So with the way the 2 is, the only way that I could ever win if there was a 6 is if I pick this middle row right here, where this could be a 1 or a 3 and you get it. So that's what I'm going to pick. Like I said, I'm not always going for a good option in my payout. I could lose, but the way that I'm playing the game, if there is a 10,000 winner, if there's a 6 on the card, I will always pick the available option that will be or can result in a 6. And there you go. Boom, 10,000, I told you. So that's going to always be that option. It's the only way that's possible. Typically, I found out that on average, every day, you get one card that has 10,000. I've had one day where I've gotten 2 10,000s. I think it's completely random. I don't know if there's like a set pattern where they kind of force it so that you can't just win, 30,000 in a day. But if possible, like if you get lucky enough to get each card so that you have the 10,000 available on each card, if you follow this method, you will get 30,000 in a day. You always win the 10,000 when it's available. Sometimes you whiff. and it's not available. Like sometimes that, you know, 1 could have been here and it could have been a 3, 2, and a 4, and you know, then you don't get anything as spectacular. But I just made 10,000, so that 600 I spent is more than well made up for it. Okay, 600 equates for a single day. That's 10 days worth down the road. It's going to be tons. Okay, so like I can't even go into like how long you have to keep retrying and failing if you're not going to win. So, so that's it. I honestly wish that I could play a lot more, because I would just play this game forever and make a shite load of MGP. But I hope you enjoyed the guide. Please leave any feedback. That's always appreciated. Like the guide if you like it. Thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff. I do all kinds of random video games. I'm going to be doing a lot more Final Fantasy 14 content. This game's really cool, and I just recently started it, and I like a lot about it, especially the Gold Saucer. It's a lot of fun. They brought Triple Triad back, which, if you're not familiar, is the card game from Final Fantasy VIII. Super big into that. I'll probably be doing some videos on that, which will be fun. So hopefully you stick around and you chill and check out some of my other stuff, and hope you like it. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one.